Hi. A while ago I decided to make my own JST cable, or I had to make some, but back then I couldn't find any reliable tutorial. I learned a lot by making mistakes, so I decided to do a short videos to try to help some of you avoid the mistakes I made. So this tutorial is especially for JST cable, but it applies more or less to Dupont or other connectors. So yeah, just be aware that of course the crimping tool is not the same depending on what type of connectors you want to crimp. So pay attention to that. Every crimping tool usually has the ability to set up the gap between both sides when you close it. But in my case, it was actually spot on, so I didn't have to change anything. The most important part I learned, and I didn't see it in any other videos, if you want to make it as easy as possible, don't basically get the connector off, but just basically cut it at the thinnest part here. This is, by the way, usually how the connectors are delivered to you. So just chained to a piece of metal. So basically this is what I start with. So I still keep the little metal bar here, because this is gonna help you determine how far you need to enter it. Also pay attention that there's two sides for JST cables. One is a little bit wider than the other. So this side here, it's hard to see, but this side is slightly wider than the opposite side. So the wider part is actually where the cable comes through. Pay attention how you enter the connector. So basically the open pins, sorry, it's a little bit out of focus. Yeah, basically the little metal thingy showing out should be aimed towards the back, so downwards here in this case. So just slightly press until it gets in. Yes. And you see the metal that we left is actually determining how far it needs to go. So this is actually the perfect place for it. So it needs to be here. And the first thing I usually do is like slightly press the tool. So once or twice. Yes. So it stays in place. So now it's locked. And the only thing we need to do is insert the cable. The cable, of course, needs to be, you need to basically cut a piece of insulation, but it's not that much. You don't need that much. So this should be enough. So probably 1-2 millimeters should be completely satisfying. All right. So now you enter it and press to make sure it's touching the end. And then you just crimp and just release it. There. Now it's perfectly tight, so it won't go away. And of course you need to get rid of the metal now, but you also want to make sure that the connector doesn't bend. So what I just usually do is put my nail here and just slightly move the piece of metal. I should come off after 1 or 2 flicks. There it goes. And there you have it. JST connector. There's a hook here. Sometimes I made the experience that it's a little bit flat, too flat, so it won't get in place. So what you could do is just like take a knife or something else and just pry the hook a little bit. But it just happens from time to time. And where the hook is basically or the hook is basically gonna be inserted where the hole is. So this is JST connector, and the hook here needs to be on top, and now it's totally secured. All right, that's my fast tutorial for making JST connectors. I hope it can help some of you. Yeah, at least it's really helpful now. I can easily make my own connectors without too much trouble, and yeah, hope it helps. Bye.